welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Happy Saturday. It is the weekly energy card reading. What that is every week you, the viewer, get to choose from 1 of 3 tarot or oracle decks, and we'll go through and do a quick reading to see what the general energies would be like for the next 7 days. It does not need to be the week of October 24th through the 31st for the energies to resonate. Anytime you come across this video, you might find nuggets of information that resonates. If you feel like the messages don't resonate, please don't feel like you have to take the messages. The reading of the cards is just for fun and entertainment purposes. I kind of think of card reading like dream interpretation. It's definitely meant just to kind of look at it and see what the symbols mean to you. So to get started, I'm just going to go through a few quick announcements. If you want to jump straight to your reading, the timestamps are listed in the description box below, as are the names and authors of all of the decks and materials that I use. So this week is going to be kind of a special week, of course, because it culminates, the end of the week is not only the Saturday, the 31st of October is not only Halloween, if you celebrate or you have fun on Halloween. So I wanted to kind of do something special for that. The other thing that's very interesting is that this month, October 2020, there are 3 moons throughout the month of October. The 1st of October actually was an Aries new moon. And then you had a Libra full, then you had so you have kind of 3 lunar shifts going on throughout the month of October. And so I thought it was very interesting that on Halloween's not only on a Saturday, but it's a full moon and it's going to be really exciting. So I just thought, what better way to kind of get into the energy of that than to go ahead and pull some oracle cards. I always pull oracle cards in addition to all of my reads, but we're going to go ahead and I've pulled out my astrology cards. So I am an astrologer. I've studied astrology since I was 14, and I'm way older than that now. So I've studied it for decades, and I definitely understand how astrological transits kind of play into things. So I'm just really excited. It would be a full moon in Libra, and that's just freaking awesome, right? So I just wanted to go ahead and include those cards as part of the reading. I also wanted to do something kind of special. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. I wanted to do something kind of special for this week. I have been promising that we will do charms, and I've got all sorts of cool new additional charms in my charms dish. I also found I found some wooden blocks that have letters on it. So I'm going to go ahead, and after we pull the spread for each of your cards, we are going to pull charms for you as well. So that's going to be a special added thing. One other special thing that I wanted to do real quick before we get started is in the previous videos and in my How to Tarot series, How to Tarot is a weekly video post that I post every Tuesday that talks about one of the 78 card tarot, and we kind of go in order, 1 card per week, and we talk about the meanings of the card, and then we do a card spread to see how that card manifests in your life. During one of those videos, I had talked about how I had just gotten back from vacation, and I was spending time with my family, with my mom, and it was such a wonderful time. I really miss my parents so much. And what it was is that being together, we were staying at a cabin for my birthday at the beginning of the month. And my mom is just always so energetic. I love her vitality. She just has such a fire for life. And she wanted, it had been a long time since she had made s'mores, and she wanted to roast marshmallows for my birthday. And so she lit up the grill, and it's funny, she hadn't fired up a grill in a while. And so I kind of created this banter between us where I said, oh, okay, Mom, we're Girl Scouts this week. You're earning your grilling badge, right? And what I do is I like to scrapbook. So what I'll be doing is I have big 12 by 12 books that I use for my memories, and then I'm making her a smaller book for our trip. I do that every single time we're together. I make her a smaller book with just the trip in it. I did that the last time we got together about 3 years ago. And I'm making her another book, and this time I'm going to include little patches, like, you know, grilling patch, a s'mores patch, a hiking patch. And so it's, and I'm doing the same thing with my book. I felt like, okay, you know, Mom earned her s'mores patch, and I earned my sports patch. And it really got me thinking. This last week I had a goof with my audio, and I'm so sorry that I subjected you guys to that. I had plugged in the charger to my camera at the same time I was filming, and it made a completely annoying humming sound, and I thank you so much for bearing with me with that. A few weeks prior, my microphone had gone out, and basically as I was going through these technical difficulties, I learned really quickly how to do like a voiceover, how to, you know, doctor a video to improve the audio quality. So what I did is I'm kind of making 2020, seeing as 2020 has been a real challenging year for all of us. I've gone ahead and said, okay, I've earned, I went ahead and ordered a audio patch. And what it means is, and I didn't earn it for making you guys listening to bad audio last video. I earned it for learning how to do voiceovers on the video that I had lost my microphone. So I kind of just did it. I think it's a real fun way to kind of just, I feel like it's something fun to do. And so what I'm going to do is this week, I'm going to challenge you, the watcher, to do it too. If you're so inclined, go ahead and this is really cute because you don't have to like buy a patch or anything like that. They do have some cute patches on Etsy. It's funny, I've seen a few that are like quarantine related, like I took a shower today, I talked to someone other than a barista, I went outside, you know, I put pants on, you know, but what you could do is you could go ahead and what I'm asking you to do is think of one thing that you've done really, really well in the last, could be in the last month, the last 6 months, whatever you want to reward yourself for. Go ahead and give yourself the patch for, you know, like the merit badge for doing that. And if there's not a merit badge out there in the world, go ahead and draw one. You know, like walking the dog, you know, sketch out a walking the dog patch, or, you know, the taking, you know, teaching kids while they're at home during quarantine, you know, the home teacher patch. Whatever you feel like you've done that has been really a work of heart, a work of art, a work of perseverance, go ahead and create that patch. And if you are so inclined, please leave a comment and let me know what patch you gave yourself, because I think all of us are working really hard. And it's been a hard year, and I think as we close out the year, because we only have 2 months left, you know, let's go ahead and celebrate, right? Let's do something fun. So I've given myself the audio tech badge, and there's a few other badges that I want to earn before the year is out. But please tell me what badge you earned, because I think we've all earned one, you know, throughout what's going on. All right, so enough blabbing. And again, if you ever want to skip straight to your reading, the timestamps are below. But we have 3 decks here. The first deck we have is the Spacious Tarot, and with it we have a beautiful green fluorite. The middle deck is the very first deck that I formally learned tarot on, and that is the Greer Tarot, and with it we have a beautiful piece of sea glass. It's a natural piece of sea glass that was gifted to me. And then the last deck is the Tattoo Tarot, inked in Intuition. And on top of it is a beautiful cherry volcanic quartz. And we'll be clarifying with the astrology cards, and all the names are in the description box, and we will be pulling charms. So please choose from your gut instinct, whatever makes you feel it, whatever you feel in your jellies, whatever you feel behind your sternum or in your gut, whatever deck you're drawn to. If you're drawn to more than one reading, please feel free to check out both. Maybe there's messages in, you know, little nuggets in each. If you need more time, please pause the video, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. Let me go ahead. And again, if you want to skip the intro, please feel free to do so. I know we had a little bit of a long intro there. So the first deck, we've got the Spacious Tarot. And I do, you know what, I get really good messages from all these decks. All of them are really, really good. So beginning of the week, October, ooh, okay. Child of Swords, okay. Middle of the week, please. Ooh, we got a flyer. Wow, okay. End of the week, please. End of the week, including Halloween. Ooh, this is a full moon. Please clarify the Four of Wands. Ooh, you got a pumpkin. I think that's so great. Now, let's go ahead and get your astrology card. Okay, that's our astrology card for pile 1. Oh, wow. I'm going to go ahead and take both because they both kind of flipped out. All right. And let's do this. I'm going to just pull out our tray, and I'm going to pull your charms now. And this gets a little bit loud. Wow. Okay. I have magnets in this. Oh, interesting, guys. Okay. All right. Very interesting. Okay, I'm just going to set this to the side, and when we get to the end of the, once we've gone through all of our week, I will gladly go ahead and pull the charms and incorporate them. So that's, all right, guys. So beginning of the week, wow. Beginning of the week, you have the Nine of Wands, and it's crowned by the Child of Swords. So what I'm really seeing here is that I'm seeing you fighting the good fight. I see you being... What I'm kind of seeing is that it does look like the beginning of the week is going to be a little bit burdened. I do get the sense that this is probably emails, or it's you know what I kind of get is, you know, that you know how when you are trying to get ahead of your work, like, you know, like when you have a certain amount of work that you need to get done, maybe there's so many tasks that are kind of quote unquote in your inbox. You have a full inbox is what I'm seeing. And that could be, you know, and that doesn't necessarily have to be in a work context. If you're a mom, if you're a dad, if basically you're just going to have, the Child of Swords, I kind of sense that, I kind of read this one of two ways. The first way that I kind of read it is that you just have a lot of little tasks that you have to knock out, and it just feels a little overwhelming. You're going to feel a little worn out. And this being at the beginning of the week, you know how when, you know, Monday's a fresh start typically, and you just feel like right out of the starting gate, you feel a little overwhelmed. That's going to be the energy starting off your week. It's not a bad thing, but they always say, I've read, you know, both psychologically and just kind of mentally, if you have a lot on your plate, like you have a lot to do, they usually say try to knock out the kind of little fast things first. You know, like if there's something that you can kind of knock out in like 2 minutes, go ahead and get those off your plate. It isn't that you're not trying to prioritize things in the order that they were received, but, you know, sometimes it's better than, you know, having little kind of trivial things. Anything that you can knock out in just a few minutes, aim for those first, and then go right into the priority list, you know, then go into the big things that, you know, in the order in which they had been presented to you. The other thing that I kind of get is that this could be communications that are just making you feel a little bit worn out. You know, like again, you know, have you ever had those times where that one text, that one extra text comes in, and it isn't that you don't want to answer it, but it's almost like you just feel so worn out. You know, it's like, if I have to answer one more thing. The other thing that I kind of get with this is it's a little bit of a delirium. It's a little bit of a It's a little bit of an information overload. And again, with this being the beginning of your week, that's kind of like normally you'd start your week on a really fresh foot. I'm getting kind of sensory overload. And I am kind of getting it in a digital realm. Now, the thing that I like about this is that, you see the imagery of this is beautiful, is that you see kind of a crisscross pattern between, the dark and the light wands, and then you have a rose that's growing up through the middle. So I think that you're organizing. The other thing that I get is that you have a lot to do, but you're organizing it. It's almost like you've got a system going, and you're like, every time I see this card, I always kind of think of that line from the Disney movie that talks about how the flower that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all. And that's what I'm kind of feeling, is that I do get a sense that you kind of make it look easy. You really take everything in stride, even though it's a lot. And what I'm getting is you are rolling with the punches. Like you refuse to concede, right? You refuse to surrender to the amount of work that you have. Now, the last thing that I kind of see here is that one other way that I can read it is that the Child of Swords can very well be, it can be a child that's kind of being a little bit mouthy. And not in a bad way, but it's been a hard time. Again, definitely if you're still feeling the effects of world events, a lot of children are feeling really frustrated right now. We're all living in this digital. Everything's, it's like we're not really getting the support that we need. So what I'm kind of seeing is that this could potentially involve a child, or it might involve your child or someone. It could be a younger person that's being a little bit verbal with you. But what you're doing, the other thing that I kind of get from this is that it might be someone who needs help, like you're feeling a little bit burdened by, not in a bad way, but again, all of us, maybe you're working virtually and then your child needs help understanding their homework. It was funny. I was just talking to my niece, and she's grown, but she was even saying, gosh, I'm trying to learn. I'm taking this virtual class and I'm learning math and I'm not getting it. There's no lectures. There's no person that I can watch in the front of the classroom, and I'm not going to get it, right? So what might be happening is your overwhelm might be coming from the fact that we're just, work and home and separate. There's no work home separation anymore. And what might be happening is you might feel like you are just communicating every moment of the day. And this flower tells me that you're handling these challenges with a lot of grace. Like you're exhibiting grace under pressure, but you are under a lot of pressure, and it just feels like, it feels like digitally things are coming from you from all sides. So I do want to say that, please keep your strength up, because you are handling it with a lot of grace, but you might have a little one. The other thing is that you might have a little one who's getting a little frustrated, and you're worn out too. We're all worn out. So, but that's kind of the beginning of the week energy. Middle of the week, we definitely have something. I'm getting a sense, if this plays into the beginning of the week's energy, you might have family either coming to help you, or you might have some kind of interaction with family in the middle of the week. And what it does is, when I see this tree trunk, it's really this is a gorgeous image. But what it does is you feel like you're getting reinforcement from your family. So one way that I can kind of read that is that if the beginning of your week does involve a child, maybe you have like a parent or a grandparent that's coming in to help you. You know how they always say it takes a village to raise a child, and especially in times like these, it's relying on your support system is not a bad thing. I think it also allows us to kind of get back to the organic. Like if you're quarantined with your family, it gets us back to those organic ties where where, you know, if a family member can help you out. But either that, or it could be that a family member either visits you, or maybe they video chat you. But it could very well also be a talk with a family member. But in the middle of the week, you feel really close to your family. You know, again, it could be a moment. Maybe you got a chance to catch up with a family member. You know, maybe you called your mom or something like that. And what it is you feel like you're all on the same page. Right? You feel like you're all on the same page. Maybe this is legitimately work making you feel really kind of stressed out. I know it's been so hard. I know everyone is feeling the effects of this, but the other thing is, when I see the Nine of Wands, when you get to the tail end, I mean, we've been going at this, you know, we've been battling this pandemic for 10 months right now, or, you know, about 7 months at least. And that starts to wear down your reserves, right? You know, you start to get really worn out. Like, you get tired. You just get tired. And sometimes connecting with either your real family, or, you know, a phone call to someone can really kind of make you feel your support system, because this is a real wide tree trunk, right? It's almost like you're feeling like you feel solid. You feel like one with your family. And that's a really beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. One other thing is that it could be that you've been feeling stressed out, and maybe you reach out to someone via chat, you know. So that could be something in the beginning of the week too. Maybe little pings, or maybe little of those. And I do that too. I like to send, you know, happy grams. Actually, I talked in the intro about a merit badge. Later on this year, I'm going to be giving myself the merit badge for pen palism, because I think it's real important, you know, sending those little messages of encouragement, sending little cards. Care packages are really important, you know. My mom sends me when the situation was real dire with the pandemic, my mom was sending me Charmin toilet paper, and I was sending her like happy, you know, packages full of cool stuff and cards, because, you know, that kind of support, knowing that you have the support, and especially when it's your family, you know, when you have those, you know, person-to-person talks. This could also be a call to say, maybe if you've been meaning to reach out to your family, middle of the week might be a good, you know, kind of middle time. Maybe you'll get a minute to breathe. You know, and it doesn't even have to be real long, because that's the other thing. I know sometimes things can be a little bit drawn out, and when you're tired. Now, the end of the week, this is real interesting. I think it's great that you got the pumpkin, because, you know, end of the week is Halloween. End of the week, you got the Four of Wands, and you got the Seven of Pentacles. So one way that I kind of read this is, it can be that the Four of Wands is, when I see this, I see a real twin flame kind of thing. I feel like you might be mirroring someone. So, you know, this is Pentacles too, so it could be a family member. But at the end of the week, I feel like across the distance, you are feeling this. You're feeling someone. You see how the two wands look like they're mirror images of each other. I get the feeling like you might be far away from someone, but you're feeling them. It's almost like you're spiritually in tandem with someone, right? You're spiritually in tandem. And the Seven of Pentacles is about evaluating. It can be about evaluating finances, but it is also about evaluating how much effort or how much energy you've put into something. So one thing that I'm kind of seeing here is that if this is a family thing, it could be that you've been really busy at work and you haven't had enough time for family. And at the end of the week, you're kind of evaluating that. And again, you know, I feel like this is like a phone conversation. It's something to do with your family. And it's almost like, you know, getting on the same page with them, having that connection is really making you think about that relationship. And it's making you think, the thing I kind of get from this is like the importance of family, right? The importance of family. I think that by the end of the week, you might be reflecting about whether or not you want to be closer to your family, either, you know, locationally, or whether or not you're feeling someone. And this could be separate from your family. It could be a relationship. It could be a relationship that you're really, you're evaluating the level of effort that you've put into it, but you're feeling this person. It's almost like this person is mirroring what you're feeling, right? And one other way that I can read it as well is that maybe in the middle of the week you're just feeling real financially stable, and then by the end of the week you might be thinking about your family, or you might be thinking about your spouse or your boo, or your boo. I'm sorry, Halloween pun. um, but you might be thinking about your boo, and you might be, again, with us still being in the tail end of the pandemic, you might be separate from someone, but you might be thinking about the amount of effort that you have to put into that relationship. But one thing I will say is that you're feeling this person. You're feeling this person. It's almost like this person is reflecting. I get the sense, what I almost kind of get is that it really seems like you've been real busy, and you're connecting to your family, or you're connecting to your spouse, and at the end of the week you're really kind of you're saying, okay, how much energy have I really been giving to this relationship, but the relationship's still equal, right? That relationship's still equal. The other thing that I kind of get from that is that with the mirroring, maybe if it's like maybe if it's because it's Halloween, maybe you have that moment over the weekend where you have a real synchronistic moment. Like maybe you didn't tell, you haven't had a chance to spend time with your boyfriend or girlfriend, and you didn't tell them that you were dressing up as this character, and then they dressed up as the opposite character, and you two are like a pair, right? And you didn't. It's like that across the. It's that mental kind of synastry. One other way that I can read this too is that if this is work related, it could be quite possible that you're working towards some kind of promotion, but you feel like it's still like you're kind of, you've put a lot of energy into this outcome, but you're not quite seeing it yet. And that can be because of world events, but the Seven of Pentacles is definitely kind of an evaluation of what work you've put into something. And the Four of Wands is like a graduation. It's like a wedding. It's like, okay, this is actually, but here I am definitely getting this. I know there's not any cups cards here, but I am almost getting a little bit of a relationship vibe from it because of the Four of Wands. I do get a sense that over Halloween there's going to be, I have a feeling that it's going to be some kind of situation, like almost like someone finishing your sentence, or someone doing something that you would have done without you having to tell them. The other thing that I kind of get is that you might be really thinking, again, if you are apart from someone, whether it be your family or a significant other over Halloween, you might be thinking like about how you want to get to that togetherness, right? I'm sorry, that makes no sense. You might be thinking about how in the future, you might be thinking, okay, I'm at the 7, right? For instance, like if you live really far away from your family and you say, I want to see my family more often, right? You can say, okay, what do I have to do in order to see my family once a year, right? I've invested this much. How much more would it cost me to have the Four of Wands, to have that celebration of seeing my family? Or how much more would I have to do to be in this relationship with this person? It's almost like you're thinking about changes. You're thinking about, you're dreaming of some kind of graduation or some kind of event, and you're thinking about what practical steps would get you there. And your 2 oracle cards really play into that, because you got the 2nd house, which is a Taurus kind of house. And it says your assets, finances, and the things that you value. And you got 2 Pentacle cards here, guys. These are all about what you value, right? If you value family time, because family time is very important, right? Being able, because when you think about it, okay, life is life. And yes, having a career is great. Having your own house is great. But if you think, okay, you know, I love this person. I love this person a lot, and I want to spend more time with them. That's something that you value, right? That's a pentacle concept. So the second house, your assets, your finances, and things that you value. And then Sagittarius, this energy imbues power, superior confidence, and enthusiasm with faith, good fortune, and authority. And what I'm really seeing is it looks like you see how that looks like a magic wand, right? Which is a real Sagittarian thing. And then this pumpkin looks like the second house, like money and growing, right? And one interesting thing about pumpkins, and especially with it being Halloween this weekend, this upcoming weekend, and it being a full moon. This can also be full moon energy. I'm glad we mentioned that. It can be full moon energy, like wishing on the full moon. And it doesn't have to be all woo-woo. If you have a more Christian faith, you don't have to like do that. You know, you don't have to dance on your lawn naked. Even though I did love that scene with, what's her name? Ellen Bernstein in Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. Absolutely. I mean, it's Halloween, y'all, and it's a full moon, and Halloween is on a Saturday. If you want to create, while you're sketching out your patch, if you want to also create a crown that has all of the things that you love, and you want to dance out on your lawn, and, you know, what is it she says? We are the moon people. We are the... All right, I'm way out into left field. Sorry, y'all. I will rein it in. But seriously, if you don't want to wish on the moon, you don't have to. But this is full moon energy, right? It's things coming to culmination. What was my point? My point was pumpkins are planted. Like, if you've ever, I had a coworker who, you know how if when a pumpkin gets mushy, if you ever actually plant a pumpkin, if you don't just throw it away, it blooms. It blooms, it grows vines, and it gets a beautiful flower on it first. And then I do think that if you're a gardener, please leave a comment. I think it takes about 5 to 6 months. That's why, you know, farmers plant like a lot of pumpkins for Halloween, like in the middle of the summer, because they start to grow, the vines start to flower, and then the flowers bloom, and then they become new little pumpkins. And so what I'm almost kind of seeing is that I am seeing a theme here, and the colors are very like at a cross to one another. I do think that you're thinking about your financial status. I think you're thinking about your career, your job. I am getting a strong sense that you were deciding. Now, one thing is, first off, you're getting real excited about it, because the Four of Wands is celebration, and Sagittarius is very optimistic energy. Sagittarius is almost a leap first and think second kind of energy. But when it's the combination of this, you might have Sagittarius and Taurus in your chart. You might have Sagittarius on the second house. And oh my gosh, holy Toledo, guys, I have Neptune in Sagittarius on the second house. So who knows? I might pick this pile. But what you're kind of thinking of is you're thinking about your, you know, at the end of the week, it's almost like all this full moon and Halloween, and Halloween being a fun time that you dress up. I'm almost thinking, you know what I'm thinking? It's like, I bet you're looking at families, and you're looking at all the cute kids that come to your house if you're giving out candy, if you celebrate, you know, Halloween. It's almost like you're looking at that and thinking, gosh, I want to do that. You know, I want to be that mom or that dad that's walking their little Buzz Lightyears around the, you know, neighborhood. Or you might be thinking, talk to your parents and your family, and you think, oh, we're so far away. How can we get together more often? And you want to make that aspiration a reality. Like in the real world, how do I make this physically happen? Because it's important, it's what you value. So I think something about the full moon or Halloween just gotta get you in your feels, get you in your jellies, and you're thinking, okay, what is it that I value? Because that is the most important things in life, and how can I make that happen? And I do think by the end of the week, you're going to have a game plan. And I think you're almost going to be excited about it. Again, if you have fire and earth, because fire always, earth always follows fire. Like if you're an Aries sun sign, you definitely probably have some Taurus in your chart. If you're a Leo, you have some Virgo in your chart. And hello, Venus and Virgo. And my mom has a Leo Venus. And she's so cute and fiery. But Earth is always, you know, it's funny, you think a fire person is all fire. No way. If you get a fire person that has that practical side to them, they not only have the grandiose ideas, but they know how to implement them and make them reality. And it's almost like that's what you want to do. It is possible that maybe Halloween or the full moon is giving you ideas too. It's like sparking an idea, but you're getting a game plan. You're getting like a real world game plan. Now, I was trying to grab only like 3 charms, of course, never happens, but this is really gorgeous. I have a magnet. I have magnets in my dish, and it says create. So, and attached to your magnet, look at all your charms. So let's go ahead and look at this. So create. And first off, create is definitely a Sagittarius. It's a wands concept. You want to create this week. Now, the first thing that we got is we got the little girl charm. Now, what I can kind of see is that you did get a Child of Swords here. And wow, your 10 of Pentacles wanted to move underneath the beginning of the week. So what it could be is that this, if you are talking to family, with that card moving the way it just did, and me talking about the girl, it could be that you're a daughter to someone. So it could quite honestly be you communicating again to your family. The other way I read it is that it could be that you want to start a family with somebody, but the girl charm usually means a child. This could also be your child. They might be an air sign, or the child that you're speaking with. One last way I can kind of read it is maybe you are making kind of family decisions regarding maybe even a move, or you know, being closer to your family, and that might involve you moving with your child. But the last thing I kind of read it is that if you are a man watching this, it could be your girl. You could be thinking about your girl, because again, the 4 of Wands, that's definitely a union thing. You might be thinking about how to, you know, bring the future, but definitely with this family card here and the 4 of Wands, it could be that you're the daughter, or you might be thinking about your daughter or communicating with your daughter. Now, the 3 other ones that were attached were really interesting. First off, the cactus really was connected to the 0. And what that tells me is the 0, that makes me think of a fresh start. The 0 is kind of like the Fool in tarot. It's like taking the leap. And with the cactus, I always think of strength. And wow, guys, this is a real synchronicity alert for me, because remember how we talked about the bloom of the flower? It's really you holding down the fort. It's you doing what you need to do. That's the cactus, because cactus bloom, they don't have very much water. They're used to desert climates. So maybe this could be that you've been kind of working, really hard, and you've been keeping yourself going, right? And we said, you know, the flower that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all. I feel that with cactus, because cactus has, they keep a store of water. They keep a store of water, but they keep that water to keep them alive. But you see these beautiful blooms that bloom on cactus. So this speaks to me a lot of strength. It's almost like I think you want to make plans to be closer to your family, or you want to make plans to start a family. But this may involve a child, and it may be a daughter, or you may be a daughter thinking about your parents or your mother. Now, this is making me smile, because I just got this charm today, actually. It's the Florida charm. So quite honestly, when I see a tree and I see Florida, and I see more desert, kind of a cactus, which in Florida is a more dry climate, you see more tropical plants there, and especially with the 0 for the Fool, maybe you're contemplating a move, either that, or either you or you're either contemplating maybe a move to Florida, or it might be in your head. The other thing is you might be looking to visit that state, or maybe you have family there or grandparents. But this is really interesting. I'm definitely seeing a theme of kind of aspirations, kind of dreams, and, you know, reaching that culmination. But I do think that something over the Halloween, you know, holiday, maybe you're talking or chatting with your family over Halloween, or you see the little ones come up to your door, and you just, it's making you think about family. It's making you think about the things that are very valuable in life, and it's giving you big dreams for it. And you're thinking about how you can practically get there. And it's a fool's energy. You've been very strong. The other thing is I get you that, you have the strength to achieve what you want. But I am definitely seeing a young one. I'm seeing a child that's a girl. So this might involve a child that's a girl, or you might be the girl child. So you might be thinking about, you might be a daughter thinking about your mother. But wow, guys, that's a great week. I hope you're enjoying this layout. It's definitely, I knew it would be a little bit longer because it is what it is. And I'll go ahead and put your charms right on top. I think that is so amazing that we got that state charm, because that is brand new. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move the dish over. And moving on, we got deck number 2, which is the Morgan Greer. We got the beautiful sea glass. So maybe if you like being by the sea, that's if you're an ocean baby. I do. I love. It's funny. I don't swim a lot at the ocean, but I love being by the ocean. I love having my feet in the sand and hearing the sounds of the waves. It's like if you love listening to the rain at night, I've been kind of into the natural music to listen to at night. But all right, beginning of your week. Wow, that came right out. Oh my gosh, guys. Woo, okay. I like to wait until we're all done to see who's having the best week ever. But, it is a full moon Halloween, in Libra. Hello. Represent. All right, middle of the week. Middle of the week. Oh my gosh. Whoa. This is looking really great, guys. All right, end of the week. Let's go. Sometimes it can be broken up. End of the week, please. End of the week energy. Okay, please clarify. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and take this here because, we're about to have a tarot on this guy, so no fear. No fear. Now let's go ahead and get your planet cards. And again, I pulled out these oracle cards. These are astrology cards because there is a full moon. There's a full moon on Halloween, which is on a Saturday. So let's go ahead and see. What's your, I thought with that much planetary energy going on, we need to put the astrologer hat on this week. All right, 10th house. Oh, 9th house. 9th house. Oh, cool beans. All right, I thought that said 10. And your Arnis is trying to pop out too. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. I'm going to put the dish here, and this gets a little bit loud. So, okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we did have the beaver, so I'll keep him in play here. Oh, this is really interesting. I'm definitely getting a story here. All right, we'll go ahead and leave it right there. We're noting the placements. Okay, I have some new charms in here, so I'm excited. If you got a chance to watch the video, I got a new charms dish. It's a little bit weighty, but it works. All right, so beginning of your week. Wow, guys. Wow. This is some really, you got 2 majors. You did get the 7 of Swords, but no fear. We're about to have a tarot on him, so it's really not so bad. Wow. Beginning of the week, I just feel like something's going to happen at the beginning of the week that really makes you feel optimistic. It's just going to make you feel like kind of on top of the world. Because you got the 9 of Cups and you got the Star. And the 9 of Cups is that wish fulfillment card, and the Star is just straight up optimism. It's like really like, it's like having that starry-eyed optimism. So what I'm kind of getting is that something's going to occur at the beginning of the week, and it could be something that you see on social media, because the Star is the Star, and it's funny, Uranus tried to the card for Uranus tried to pop out, and this is an Aquarius card. The Star is an Aquarius card. So this could be something that's happening within your social group, like I would say a friends group. Your team, what do you call it? Oh gosh, I'm sorry. My little niece is the sweetest. She's the one who keeps me hip with what the terminology is. Your squad. There you go. I'm sorry. I was looking for the word. I was looking. Yes, yes, guys. I'm old. I'm old. I need my beloved millennials and my Gen Z to tell me what's going on. Your squad. It could be something within your squad. It could be something within your social group in the beginning of the week that's just making you feel really good. It could be a good sense of teamwork if this is a work thing, or just family. But I'm definitely getting more of a sense of a friend group. The other thing that I kind of get is that if you are a guy watching this, I got to put it out there. It feels like you're going to feel, if you're a guy watching this, you're going to feel like you're on top of the world because you got some kind of message or got some kind of attention from the woman of your dreams. Like if you have this girl or this woman that you have your eye on that you just think is the bee's knees, you're going to be in some kind of communication, and it's what it kind of does is it kind of makes you feel like it makes you feel like you have all those trophies, right? When someone that you've really had your eye on talks to you. And it can be reversed. You could be a woman watching this, and it could be the same thing in the reverse. It could be someone that you have your eye on that starts communicating with you, or you just you kind of feel like you got the gift of their attention. Now, one other way that I can kind of read it, though, is that man or woman, and again, with Halloween being on Saturday, it could be that maybe you firmed up some plans that you're going to go maybe to I know people aren't really going to Halloween parties. We're being good. We're staying in for quarantine. But, maybe it's something virtual or some kind of, and again, that would be very much the star too. Maybe you're doing some kind of Zoom Halloween party or something, or maybe you're doing something with something kind of virtual with a team of people. But the person that really someone's really going to make you feel good and hopeful in the beginning of the week. And it's going to feel like a reward. It's going to make you feel like you're on top of the world. But one other thing that I can kind of read with this too is that just one other interpretation is because we do have the Seven of Swords in play here. It could be someone who's paying you a lot of attention, but it's almost like, giving them your attention is adding to their trophy case. You know what I mean? There are sometimes people out there who want to get, by you talking to them, they feel like they won, but they talk to everyone, so therefore you're one of the many cups, right? But I'm not really getting that sense. That could be a play, just to throw it out there. But Nine of Cups in the Star, that's the most positive energy I've ever seen. I just think that some kind of, it's almost like some kind of wish fulfillment. That's the one theme between those two cards. And the Star being a major arcana, some kind of major wish fulfillment is occurring in the beginning of the week. Now, that can be work related. Maybe you've been working real hard at something and you finally get that promotion, or maybe you get some kind of recognition and it feels, but with these two cards, I'm really getting more of a specific wish, something that you've really wanted is going to kind of come to you at the beginning of the week. Now, the middle of the week is really some interesting energy. You got the Seven of Swords, you got the Nine of Pentacles, and you got the Fool. So what I'm kind of getting here, guys, because these are two nines too. You go from the Nine of Cups to the Nine of Pentacles, and that's complementary energy. Emotions and, Cups and Pentacles are like water and earth signs, what I'm kind of getting from that is, one way that I can kind of read it is that if you have had some kind of wish fulfillment, this could be walking away from something that was kind of bringing you down. Like for instance, maybe, and I hate to phrase it like this because that's not really a good scenario, but it's the best way I can kind of explain this energy. Maybe you were working really hard at a job and you wanted to transition to something that was, more your speed, right? Something that made you happier. And you finally get that call that offers you the job. And then what you do is you have to leave your current position. And it makes you feel real independent, and it makes you feel like you're starting something new. The other thing is the Fool is facing this direction. So it's like it's facing the direction of the wish fulfillment from the beginning of the week. But I do feel like beginning of the week you got some kind of wish was granted. This is a big deal. These are, and wish granted, and middle of the week you're starting off on that new journey, right? But the one thing about starting off on this new journey is that you do have to walk away from something, right? And it's you exerting your independence about something. So you do have to be very strong with it. The one thing about the Seven of Swords, and we're going to be how to taroting it on, we're going to how to tarot on this on Tuesday. So if you really want some more, if you want to kind of get a more broad explanation of this kind of energy, it can be that sometimes the Seven of Swords is notoriously labeled as being a real bad guy because it's seen as being deceptive, right? He's stealing away in the night, right? He's taking swords that he deems as being his, and he's walking away. He's sneaking away. But it doesn't necessarily have to be like a vindictive energy. What it could be is that you could have for a long time really been doing your due diligence, but you had to go along with what you were being told to do. And then, again, with it being the Seven and then the Nine of Pentacles and the Fool, it's almost like you're getting some kind of what I'm getting is the beginning of the week, you get some kind of wish fulfillment, and it's almost like the middle of the week, you can show everyone what your true intentions are. And your true intentions might be in conflict from some people around you. Like there might be people around you who think that, it is a little bit of a double agent kind of card. And it's not in a bad way. It's not saying that you're doing anything deceptive. It's just, sometimes you might have been going along. The other thing is it can be very social too. Maybe you were going along with the status quo. Maybe you were going along with kind of the agenda of some of your friends, but you really didn't agree with them. Beginning of the week, it's almost like you have an opportunity to leave that kind of false situation. You don't have to be, what I'm also getting is you don't have to be false anymore. You have the opportunity to get away from whatever you feel like is oppressing you. It does make you feel like you have to starkly walk away from someone. It does make you feel like you're sneaking away, but you're exerting your independence though. You're being your own person, and you're the other thing that I'm getting is I don't see anything financial in the beginning of the week, but I am seeing that if this was a job opportunity, or maybe it's an opportunity to move, what it is you do have to leave. You have to leave some circumstances that, that you might be walking away from people, and the people that the people or situations that you're walking away from might be a little shocked that you're going because they didn't know that you wanted to leave, right? But you're going to be real strong and clear with your independence. The other thing is that whatever this wish fulfillment is, it allows you to financially support yourself. And it's going to be a new journey, right? It's going to be stepping off the cliff. It's going to be something really, really new. Now, and this can be separate energy, maybe you start talking to someone that you really had your eye on, and that feels like your wish fulfillment. And then the middle of the week, maybe you're talking to a family member and you have to kind of walk away from some kind of, financial agreement that you had with them, but it makes you feel real independent. Now, I do kind of see an integration here, but it is different elements. You've got cups, you've got pentacles, you've got wands. So what I am kind of seeing though is end of the week you got 10 of Wands. So you're gonna have a little bit of a workload. One way that I can read it is that if this was like a job, I hate to keep relating it to work because it can't necessarily be work. It's just definitely some kind of blessing that you got that's really allowing you to be independent. But the thing is, in being independent, you have to walk away from a few things. One way that I also kind of see this is that if you had been codependent on someone for a while, you know, you being your own person, you kind of standing up for yourself and walking away and kind of starting down your own path, a lot of times people will look at you like you're the villain, or look at you like, well, they just up and walked away, you know, who do they think they are? Because they're not used to you exerting your independence, exerting your strength, right? And Pentacles is that, it's that abundance, right? So I think by the end of the week, it might create a few burdens for you, right? The other thing that I'm noticing here, and this is a strange observation, is just in 1, 2, 3, 4 of these cards, there's a feather in their cap. There's a feather in their hat, and the expression of feather in your cap, it's almost like it's a little bit associated to the Nine of Cups. It's a little bit of, you know, like, it might be you. The one thing that I'm kind of getting from this is that at the end of the week, and this is just one interpretation, you don't have to take it, that this is something, that feather in the cap, because the person carrying all those wands has two feathers in their cap. What I'm kind of sensing is that maybe there was you got your opportunity to walk away from something and you thought that you'd get away scot-free, because that's one concept with the 7 and the Fool. Okay, you know, I can just, you know, okay, I don't need this anymore. I got my new opportunity. Bye-bye. But something might come back to bite you a little bit. Either that, or there might be some lingering work that you have to complete before you can start on your new opportunity. Now, this could very well, I am getting a sense of a little bit of vindication from this. Not in a bad way, but the thing I'm thinking of is, if this is like, if there's some kind of, if this is romantic and it's like a breakup, it could be someone saying, well, okay, you can move out of our apartment, but you're going to pay this month's rent, and you're going to do this, and you're going to clean out your shit. You know, it's almost like there might be additional responsibilities. Yes, this new opportunity is a dream come true. Yes, it's, you want to, you know, jump off the cliff and head down that path. And yes, you are the bomb. You're going to be taking care of yourself. But there might be a few things from your previous life, you know, what you're walking away from, that might require your attention. The other thing is, one other way that I kind of read this too, is that sometimes when you accept a new opportunity, yes, it's exciting. Yes, the initial stages of it makes you feel so great. But the first couple days of it does make you feel a little bit overwhelmed. Like maybe it is a new job, and the first 2 days you're brand new, right? You're going to feel like there's 10 rods on your back, right? So, but these are different elements, so these could be different situations. You know, it could be something different each phase of the week. But end of the week, you are going to feel like, you're just going to feel like you're taking care of business, and it's going to feel like it's a lot. The one thing that I love about this card is that this is the one, 10 of Wands, that looks like this person is burdened, but they've got everything in hand, right? You've got your arm. It's like you're hugging all of your responsibilities. I don't think that you're being a sneaky Pete. I think that whatever this blessing is makes you feel real good, but I do think that maybe there's some kind of there's just a few loose ends. Maybe the other thing is that if this is some new opportunity that you've already accepted, maybe this you have to finish up a few things, chores with your previous responsibility before you actually get to step off the cliff with the new. And you're just going to be feeling it a lot more. You know, you're going to be feeling a lot more. And I don't even think it's that vindictive. I just think it's what you have to do at the end of the week. But it is going to feel, it's going to feel like a lot. It's going to feel like a lot. Now, your card, you got the 9th house. We got a lot of Jupiter energy going on, guys. And it says broadening your horizons, either spiritually, academically, or on a long journey. And the Fool is starting off on a journey, right? And actually what you see is, it's interesting in this Buddha picture, they're holding a lot of rods. right? But it almost looks like you're kind of zen, you know? Again, I think that whatever you're endeavoring to do, you're going to be able to handle it. You're going to be able to handle it. And whatever this new opportunity is, it's almost going to be like, again, like ninth house is really expansion energy. Again, you probably feel real excited. Where you're going is a real positive place. And but I do get the sense, I'm getting a sense like you're wrapping up your, and again, this being a full moon, and the full moon is the culmination of a cycle. I think you're finishing up, and the 10 is the 10. We go from 9 of Pentacles. We got 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. I think you're wrapping up whatever you need to do so you can start on your new cycle, and it's going to feel like a journey. It's going to be like an expansion to you. You're really going to jump off the cliff. It's interesting how you feel all excited in the beginning of the week and the middle of the week, but then by the end of the week you're a little overwhelmed. But I would say, you know, with the 10 of Wands energy, you know, try to take it in stride. If there's any responsibilities that you can kind of either delegate or prioritize for another time where you're not, you know, carrying 10 wands at once, that would be most you know, appreciated. Now, you got some really interesting charms, guys. So you got quite a few charms upside down. But what you got is, first off, is you got the ball of string and the knitting needles. What I kind of think of this is that I interpret this a few different ways. With it being the ball with the two knitting needles, I think I do get kind of a beginner's energy. You know how when knitters unravel, like if they have a project that's not working out well, they'll unravel it and then roll it into a ball so they can knit something new. I'm kind of getting that energy from this, guys. I think you got the opportunity to do something new, and it's almost like you have to unravel your, not even unravel, but it's almost like you have to utilize or wrap up whatever, you know, you kind of have to repurpose your energy, or you have to, you know, complete whatever it is that you were doing before in order so you can apply your energies to the new project, right? And that's what I kind of get from the ball of yarn and the knitting needles. We do have the beaver here, which talks about building a steady foundation, you know, like, and I also get a sense of hard work, because I'm definitely seeing the 10 of the 10 of rods with that beaver. I feel like you're laying a foundation. I think you're working really hard. Now we got best sister. We got the best sister charm, but what I'm seeing is that it was kind of split like this. So what I'm kind of seeing is that this might involve a family member. Maybe it involves a sister. But what you're doing is, the thing I kind of get from that is that the way that it fell is it's almost like you're working together. Maybe you're working with your sister, maybe apart, and that could be due to the pandemic. But I get the sense that you're both doing the best that you can, but you're not together. It can also be that you're of separate minds about something. But I am getting a cooperation here. I just get the sense that maybe you're not, maybe you and your sibling or your sister are working on separate aspects of one project, and then later you'll come together with the results of it. Now you got the teacup, but you got it upside down. So what I kind of get from this, and I know this is a strange energy, is that what I get the feeling like there's some kind of gossip, but someone's not spilling the tea. Someone's not spilling the tea. So one other way I kind of read this is that maybe there's some kind of something occurred, some kind of blessing or some kind of wish fulfillment occurred, but you can't really talk about it yet. And that might be the secrecy here. That might be the reason that the seven's there. It's almost like you have to keep it under wraps. And but you have to continue working hard in the meantime, right? Someone's not spilling the tea. There's some kind of secret here, but there's so much positive energy here, guys. So the other thing is that maybe one person is keeping information from another, but again, I'm getting more of a sense that you know what's going on and it's really exciting news, but you can't let it out yet. And especially with the ninth house, because the ninth house is about like breaking open the boundaries of anything is possible. Like, right, seriously, ninth house is like Fool energy. It's like anything is possible. There's so much potential. What is it? The sky's the limit is what I think of when I see the ninth house. Now, what you got is you got the little magnet that says write your own story. And wow, guys, that really plays into, I feel like this plays into the Nine of Pentacles, you know. You've got the abundance. You can do whatever you set out to do. You don't answer to anyone. You don't have to. And you're a hard worker, right? And I almost get the sense at the end of the week, you're going to be working really hard. One thing that I kind of do read at the end of the week is that if you are transitioning from one place to another, you know, maybe you're moving, maybe you're changing jobs, you know, that real busy time where it's almost like you have double the work is kind of the vibe that I get. Now, the last charm that you got is real cute. This is a new charm that I got. But it's the little telephone. It's a regular radial dial telephone, and it's funny, it has a little handset that, you know, goes on it. But it's upside down. It's upside down. So there's a few ways that I kind of read that. Is that, now this kind of brings a third interpretation into the mix. Maybe you got word that you were approved for something, you know, it could be approved for a mortgage, approved for a new job, but then as the week goes along, you haven't gotten like a follow-up call, right? Like you're all excited, you got the wish, yes, ready to go, when do I start? And it's like, but then you don't hear any follow-up to it, right? And that's where you kind of feel. Now, the other way that I kind of read it is that, again, playing into someone not spilling the tea. You know, someone, it's almost like you want, the vibe, the stronger vibe that I'm getting is that you do have some kind of really good news, but you can't shout it from the mountaintops, right? Like you can't call anybody and tell them. You can't spill the tea. Someone's not spilling the tea. So I do get the sense that maybe you have to continue to work really, really hard and not, it's almost like you're not allowed to talk about it yet. But this is going to be it's going to be a big event that's almost like your life opening up. It's really going to open you up to new and bigger possibilities. And I do think that it might involve a family member. It might involve like, I really am getting a sense of a sister, right? But with that knitting needles, I get this sense. The other thing that I'm kind of getting is that it's almost like I get the sense that you're using resources that are yours in a different way, right? Like with the ball of yarn and the knitting needles, it's like, okay, I don't want a scarf. I want to create, I want to create a sweater. So you unravel the scarf and use the same yarn to knit what you want, to create what you want. And, maybe that does involve something with a sibling. But I get the sense that this 7 is almost like you have to be quiet about it, but it's really good news. It's really good news. All this is really positive. But I do get the sense that the end of the week, and especially over Halloween, it just might be work related to this new news, right? Like, you're working to get everything going. You're finishing up an old cycle to start a new one. So that's really exciting energy, guys. So, but definitely please take it easy, because anytime you see the 10 of Wands, the 10 of Wands is it's a bit of a grueling energy. You can get worn out, right? You can get worn out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put your charms right on top. No one's spilling the tea this week, guys. Ooh, your telephone wants to flip out upright. Put your little beaver there. You're working hard. You're working hard. All right. So last but not least, we got the Tattoo Tarot. Ooh, go ahead and put your charm on top. So Tattoo Tarot. So beginning of the week. What's the beginning of the week for Tattoo Tarot? Oh my gosh, we got the star in the first position again. Middle of the week, please. You got double arcana. You got the, oh my gosh, guys. That's some amazing energy. Whoa! Okay, please clarify. Okay, Three of Cups trying to pop out. But... all right, let's go ahead and get your astrology card. All right, and let's go ahead and get your charms. As I shuffle the charms, it gets a little bit noisy. So, okay, 3, 2, 1. Wow, okay, very interesting. Okay. Okay, definitely, guys. Wow, this is some interesting energy. This is some really interesting energy. First off, you have 3 major arcanas, and then you got a lot of swords energy at the end of the week. It's nothing to be afraid of. I always think of this as the root, the stem, and the bloom, or the root and the bloom. So the manifestation energy is, but it is very thoughts related. It's very thoughts related. So there's a few interpretations, and we'll go through them. So beginning of the week, you got the star and you got the empress. That's some amazing energy, guys. If you are a woman watching this, beginning of the week, it's going to feel, there's going to be some kind of wish that comes true that makes you feel like the empress, right? It's almost like either that or your positive energy, like your optimism, is really nurturing other people at the beginning of the week. One other way I can kind of read this is that maybe you're talking to your mother, or your mother's helping you, or you have some kind of connection to your mother, or if you are a mother, that you're being like that. You're like the star. You're being that point of guidance for other people at the beginning of the week. But beginning of the week, I get more of a sense that some kind of wish that you've had, like you've wanted to be the empress, or you've wanted to, if you're a man watching this, maybe you've wanted to be with someone who you see as your empress, like see as the woman that would be the mother of your children, would be, you know, everything to you. And the star is definitely, you know, these two women together, these two cards, they're major arcana, and they are the it girls. Like they're the bomb. Other than the high priestess, you don't get more it than this, right? Like it's the most positive wish fulfillment. And I get the sense that I'm really getting a strong sense in the beginning of the week, something is happening that's making you feel like the empress. So if you're in a relationship, or if someone's really going to make you feel like a queen of queens, and it's going to be some kind of wish fulfillment. Now, this could be, you know, it could be your spouse sending, you know, making you feel real, you know, doing something special for you. But with these being majors, and especially the middle of the week being the lovers, I get more of a romantic sense. I really get the sense that someone might be reaching out to you, to either, there's some kind of situation that feels like like something that you've really, really wanted, and it could be someone asking you out, it could be someone proposing marriage. If you're a mother, it would just be that you're like being the guiding light for your family in the beginning of the week. You're in a real nurturing mood, like you're just taking care of, and you don't even have to be married or have a family. Maybe you're just taking care of other people. The other thing is you're being like the matriarch for your team. So like if this is a work related thing, you know, it's unlikely it's work, but if it were, it would be like you being the benevolent, you know, feminine leader. You're almost showing people kindness. Like maybe you're reaching out to people, making sure they're okay. You know, I see the Empress is definitely the one who kind of calls someone and says, oh, you know, I know you had a really long week last week. How you doing? Are you hanging in there? She's like the mother, you know, she's like she's like the benign feminine force. And when you see her above the star, it's like she's the one that everyone looks to. She's the guiding light, you know, of everyone. But the feeling I'm getting is that this is really powerful energy, and actually all three decks had a really kind of strong beginning of the week. I am almost getting that you might get some kind of message from someone that'll feel like a dream, like a wish being granted. And after you get this communication, and the star is ruled by Aquarius, so that could be social media, it could be a direct message through some kind of social media service. I don't think it's not going to be small. The one thing is that this is not page energy. This would be full on like someone coming up to you and saying, I know we haven't, you know, I know that I haven't asked you out before, but hey, would you go out with me? And it's going to make you feel like the Empress, right? It's going to make you feel like, you know what, I'm keep hearing the chosen one. The chosen one. But the one thing is that you are completely deserving of this honor, right? It isn't like, I always think the Empress is not a queen consort. She's not marrying a king and becoming a queen by default. She is a queen in her own right. She is she's the leading example. Like she is the matriarchal yin goddess energy. And I know that sounds really woo-woo, but when you see majors in a weekly energy, it doesn't mean that something like cataclysmic is happening to you. It means that this week in particular, you are seeing the manifestation of events that have been going on over time. So I do think, but the beautiful thing about this is that it's going to be such a warm energy. The beginning of your week, you're feeling warm. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like you're nurturing people. People are nurturing you. You feel like a mother to people, and not in a smother way. And the crazy thing is, we got your oracle card. You got Cancer, which is that matriarchal. It's the universal mother. But I am getting more of a sense that some kind of good news is going to come to you, and it's going to feel like some kind of blessing, and it's going to feel like something that you've really wanted for a long time. But it's going to put you right on that throne. And look at it. This Empress has wings. So I keep hearing the phrase, "You're my angel." And the way that she holds the shield of the Emperor. So I do get the sense, and especially if you're a woman watching this, I get the sense that someone's going to put you on a throne at the beginning of the week. And again, it doesn't have to be like a material throne. It's just someone's going to do something to let you know that that you're their counterpart, that you're their Empress, right? And it's going to make you feel like on top of the world. It's going to feel really, really good. But again, if this is just normal everyday energy, one other way I can read it is that maybe something's really going on with your kids, and if you are a mom and you navigate it so well that you are almost like the guiding light, you know, you're the optimism, you're the other thing that I kind of get is that the beginning of this week you're being the positive guiding force for like everyone, for your spouse, for your husband, for your parents, for your children, you know, could be for coworkers. but everyone's really looking up to you. The other thing is the star is ruled by Aquarius, which rules kind of your squad. I said that in one of the other decks. It rules your social group. So this could be amongst your friends, this could be amongst your what's the word when you call someone family that's, not biological, but your soul tribe, right? It could be amongst your soul family. Now, I am getting definitely more of like a relationship vibe from this, because the middle of the week you got the Lovers. And this is a beautiful card. This is a really beautiful card. I would love to see if anybody has this tattooed anywhere on their body. If you just happen to come across my video, if you would post a picture, that would be awesome. The artwork in this deck is by Magdalene, if I'm saying her name right. I love to give a shout out to the artist, because the decks that I use, when you're a card reader, you use the materials, and but it's all card decks, just like books, are someone's intellectual property, and it's amazing how artists don't really get shout outs. The authors of the decks definitely contribute to it, but the artwork, like all this artwork, was done by a tattoo specialist, and isn't that amazing? The work that they do. I'm of the age where if I did get the Lovers tattooed somewhere, I'd have to fold over and make a happy face, hey. But if I were young and firm and able to pull that off, I would do it. But I'm sorry, tangent. But middle of the week, you guys got the Lovers. And, the Empress is the divine counterpart to the Emperor. And what's kind of interesting is that in this entire spread, you don't see the Emperor. Like, the Emperor didn't come out. But there's a lot of mother energy here. And again, with her full stomach, she does. The Empress doesn't necessarily have to be a literal pregnancy. It can be that, it could, quite honestly, one other way that you can read it is that, and the way the card is falling on the tablecloth, you see the rays of the sun coming out around her. That's just amazing, guys. But what I'm also kind of getting is that, just to throw it out there, if you've been trying to get pregnant, and you finally get the news that you are, this could be like your star moment, like, your glimmer, that beacon of hope, like, yes, it finally happens. So just to throw it out there, if that's the case, that's wonderful. But middle of the week, you got the Lovers, and the Lovers is that connection between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So you've got your three majors in the middle of the week. These feel like big events, even though it's just a weekly energy. And again, we have a full moon. We have a full moon culminating on Halloween. So maybe you did get some good news, or I am getting a strong sense that you get treated like you're an empress this week. And now this could be something as simple as like your crush asking you out. But by the middle of the week, you definitely feel connected to someone, with the Lovers kissing and being inside of a heart, This could be, if you're single and you've just gone, you've just gone steady with someone has asked you to be their boo, ask them to be, their counterpart. It doesn't even have to be serious like marriage, but that would make you feel like the Empress too, especially if you feel like this other person, and male, female, it doesn't matter. If you feel this other person's really dynamic and they kind of tap you to be their Empress, like it makes you feel regal like that. But especially with the wings and stuff like that, I feel like a lot of this is your own merit. You're a really cool person, you're a real nurturing person, and you're just a natural counterpart to this other individual. But I do think that I get this strong sense that you're seeing a lot of love this week. Now, if you are a mom and you just feel like you got the home life, the home life is just, kicking it this week, you're on par, you're shining bright. It could mean that the middle of the week is just kind of the carry, the continuation of that energy. Maybe, the kids are doing well, you're in a real nurturing mood, and then in the middle of the week you do have some time with your spouse. It can be some love time with your spouse. It could be a date night. But I am kind of getting a sense of connection there. If you are single, it's more like I get the sense that someone's really kind of giving you your title of queen, of empress, and then the middle of the week, it's just kind of the love fest, when somebody proposes or somebody asks you out or says, hey, will you be my girlfriend? They go exclusive with you. They actually put a label on it. That does make you feel, now that it's Halloween, Gomez and Morticia, you're kind of kissing up each other's arms and, that aura of love. But middle of the week, one other way I can read it too is that, and again, in our digital age, maybe someone has asked you to go exclusive, and maybe you're coordinating outfits for Halloween if you partake. And then, as you prepare for the weekend, the middle of the week, you're just feeling real lovey, you're feeling real lovey. But this is very strong. All three of these are majors. That's a fantastic week, guys. That's so beautiful. I love the Empress energy. It's funny. I love being in the Empress energy. It makes me feel like the loving mama in the best sense, And it's funny, I have a lot of planets, including my moon, which rules the sign of Cancer. And I have a moon in Cancer. And I like taking care of people. And sometimes that can be a little claustrophobic, but the Empress energy is not claustrophobic. It's like she knows how to care for people in all the right ways, right? She knows the right thing to do. It's almost like when you call your mom and she just knows the right thing to say, the right way to make you feel, to help you grow, right? And that's kind of the energy I get from that. She's just, she's this beautiful kind of Gaia, universal life force. Now, the end of the week is really quite interesting, guys. You got the Six of Swords, and then underneath it, the root energy is the Ten of Swords. So the end of the week, guys, and this does carry over Halloween. And I don't want you to be afraid. There are no bad cards in tarot. And actually, the clarifier, the root of it is the Ten of Swords, and then the bloom, the top of it is the Six. And we just had a tarot on the Six, just a week ago. So if you get a chance, if you want more clarification, feel free to check out that video. Watching the How to Tarots really do help, especially if you have kind of a as you get to the end of the week, if you start, kind of wanting more clarification about this type of energy. But this is real interesting because you really feel kind of on top of the world, and again, this could be separate energy, right? This can be totally separate energy. Now, if it's related to the same energy, what I'm kind of sensing is that, one way that I can kind of read this, and I know this sounds a little bit weird, is that if you have kind of been in a breakup with someone and that person has kind of come back, it's almost like them coming back and getting back together. That was your, your star Empress moment. It's like, okay, everything's going back to the way that it should be. I have been chosen. And when it comes to relationships nowadays, those are really big life decisions that would manifest as majors, right? And what I'm kind of seeing is that it's almost like you're putting heartbreak behind you and you're moving forward, right? You're moving towards a better mental future. Now, the other way that I kind of read this is that if you've had kind of a rough time in the past, and you're starting to have a really good week. Like you're feeling like yourself again. You're feeling really nurturing. You're really in your groove, and all of your what I really get from this is like all of your relationships are really fulfilling. It's almost like this energy towards the weekend is it's almost like you get a chance to kind of sit back and watch and see how much your life has changed, like how much better your life has gotten. Like maybe you know, and with it being 2020 as well, you know, it's been a rough year. So this could be that you have a really, really good week, and you really kind of reflect on it, because all of this is mental energy. These are swords. Maybe your year started off really rough. Maybe you had trouble with finances. Maybe you felt like the family was under a lot of stress and pressure. And this week you're starting to feel like everything is so much better now, right? Which is such a Six of Swords thing. Okay, things are healing, you know, we're transitioning to something much, much better after a time of a lot of pain. So this could be, you know, over the weekend as you go over Halloween. And I was saying in the other piles, you know, Halloween, I know it gets such a bad rap. You know, it's different from Thanksgiving and Christmas, where it's not as religious, but it still gives you the warm and fuzzies. You know, when you see the cute little kids or even the teenagers, you see all the creative costumes, and what I love about it is that you see people showing their true colors, you know, like the superheroes that they idolize, you know, they dress up like that. And, you know, just to see people kind of play out their dreams, you know, right in front of you, you know, them kind of giving a character personification and letting you see that part of themselves. That is, you know, it's almost like when you see that, when you watch everybody come up, it's so much more than just someone walking up and saying, hey, give me free candy. It's like, it's really getting to share family moments with everyone, you know, which we've been denied for a long time. You know, this year has been really hard. There's been a psychological impact in not being able to connect with people that way. I think over Halloween, whether you do that virtually, where you're seeing people's costumes, you know, from pictures on social media, it's almost like you're feeling like the stark pain of the past is over, right? And you really do start to feel like, you know, I'm almost getting a sense of like, oh my gosh, things are finally feeling like normal again. Finally, some semblance of normalcy, right? And I do think with it being a full moon in Libra's a very couple, it's a very relationship sign. I think, and it being a moon and it being ruled by Cancer with the Empress and Cancer, I think that you're just, you know, the Six of Swords is that it's, I think over the weekend, you're going to have such warm, loving moments. Over the weekend, I think you're going to be in a real neutral kind of mental space, but it's going to be a good neutral. It's almost like you're looking at the past and thinking, oh, thank God, you know, things are finally feeling normal again. And I do think that you'll be kind of sharing moments, you know, maybe again you're seeing costumes, you're seeing all these cute ideas. You actually get to connect a little bit where the other thing with the Six of Swords, we talked about it, it kind of feels like you're on autopilot a little bit. The thing that I get from this card a lot is that you don't have to drive anymore. You know, you can kind of, the other thing about the Empress is she's real receptive energy. You know, she's not you know, Yang is that active, you know, Emperor energy is offense, right? Feminine energy, she can be defense, normally not. You know, she has a shield, but she doesn't use it. She has it, but she doesn't have to use it. But what I kind of see is with the Six of Swords is very receptive energy. The Six of Swords is a very safe card. You have someone rowing you across troubled waters. You don't have to do anything else. And I do think that you might have known some kind of pain, and it's almost like you feel like you're past like the worst. What I'm kind of getting is you feel like the worst is over, and you're starting to see, you've had a really good week. The other thing is that I do see the rays of the sun. I see the rays of the sun peeking out behind the swords, and the rays of the sun on the tablecloth are around her. And your oracle card, you got the sun. So, and the sun's, the moon, the full moon reflects the sun's light. So I do think, what I'm feeling is that you're going to feel like you're going to have an excellent week, maybe a good, mother kind of feeling, and a good lover kind of feeling. You're going to feel like the mother, you're going to feel like the lover, you're going to feel, and then by the end of the week, it's almost like you can kind of check out and know that you're safe. You can kind of put your mind on autopilot because you feel like the worst is over. And this could be, again, this could be events that have been occurring, it could be, regarding the pandemic. But the two oracle cards that you got is you got the sun and you got the sign of Cancer. So the sun is your immortal spirit, purpose, and destiny is involved. And then Cancer is, this energy is emotional, sensitive, caring, and loving. It may concern family, a mother, or a child. So now, your immortal spirit, purpose, and destiny. So, well, guys, just to put it out there, if you're a guy watching this reading with the immortal spirit and destiny and the lovers being the two counterparts, you might be connecting with your Empress, with someone that you want to be the mother of your child. It could very well be the mother of your child. And by the, middle of the week, you're some kind of wish fulfillment's going to occur in the beginning of the week. In the middle of the week, you just feel really connected, and end of the week, you just feel like the sun is coming out, right? Again, you feel like you don't have to be on guard anymore, right? The worst is over. I think you really feel like you're coming out of the woods with something. Maybe if you did have some kind of troubled situation with someone, again, the star comes after the Tower too. So, and the Six of Swords coming after. I even said that too when we were talking about the Six of Swords. I talked about how it seems like the bridge between the Tower and the Star. But I definitely feel like things are getting much, much better. This could involve your mother. But with the lovers in the middle, I feel like this is more of like a counterpart, like more like a spouse. And if you're a woman watching this, you're either having a real nurturing week, or someone's going to make you feel like the Empress. Now, your charms are real interesting, guys. Is that you got the dog in the upright, and this is a new charm. We got happy thoughts, and it is a little bit upside down. You got the owl. And then you got the letter I, and underneath the letter I, there's the number 9. So the way that I read this, guys, is first off, happy thoughts. First off, the dog. The dog usually means a loyal companion, a loyal friend. And with the lovers and the Empress being here, it could be that there's a woman in the picture. I really get the feeling like if you have, this whole energy, and there's even wings in this. If you can see this, there are wings in this, and that's just blowing my mind that the Empress has wings. If this involves a woman, like if this is a woman that you're talking to, like if you're a man watching this and you're asking about a woman, you think this woman's an angel. Like you want this woman to be the mother of your children. But otherwise, if it's you, I think that this is a loyal companion. This is a loyal person, and the other thing is that you're showing loyalty as well. So you could either it's a sign that you're being real loyal to what you love, or someone's showing you a lot of loyalty to you. Like they're faithful, really faithful. Now, but the other thing is with the Ten of Swords. I think that maybe you might have not had that faithfulness in the past, but you're getting it now. So maybe you are starting off on a new relationship that's different from what you've had in the past, and you feel like you're on the right path. You're on the path to happiness. Now, the happy thoughts, you got it came out upside down. But what I kind of see here is that when we talked about this in the How to Tarot, sometimes I think that it isn't necessarily that you have gloomy thoughts, because the other thing is the sun is like the sun in tarot. It's like the happiest card in the deck. I think that I think it isn't that you're not having happy thoughts. I just think that you're having no thoughts right now. Like I think these are big events, and it's almost like you're kind of absorbing it, right? Because you got the owl. You got the owl, and the owl is kind of like your inner wisdom. It's the symbol of the high priestess. It's kind of like saying, okay, um, maybe you did enter into a new relationship, and this new relationship is very loving and loyal and different than any that you've had before. And it's making you wise, right? It's making you feel. And the other thing is that owls really rely on their inner instinct, and the Empress and Cancer energy, they are very instinctual. They trust their gut, right? They trust their, the ruling part of the body for Cancer is the stomach or the womb. And you try, whatever you feel in your jellies, you trust it, right? So it isn't that I think that you're not having happy thoughts, but the Six of Swords is kind of like suspending thought, right? I think what it is the other vibe that I kind of get from this is that if this is a new development, you're trying to not overthink it. You're kind of trying to turn your mind off. You're trying not to question anything. And it isn't because you don't want to scrutinize it. It's just because you don't want to overanalyze it. And the last one that you got is you got the I. And when you think of the sun is I am, right? Your immortal spirit, purpose, and destiny, right? And with the lovers and the divine masculine, the lovers are the divine masculine, the divine feminine. And if you're the divine feminine part of that, that is your part. That's like you being the divine mother. That's like you being the divine nurturer. So now, one way that I can read it is quite possible. I mean, you might, if you are in a long-term relationship that could potentially propose marriage, or again, if you might discover that you're pregnant, or again that you're gonna get some very positive affirmation at the beginning of the week that you are somebody's divine feminine, right? You are like the eternal mother. The other thing that I'm getting is that you're shining real bright. You're shining real bright. And the number 9 is the sun. The ninth house is the one thing that we got is that in all 3 piles we got a little bit of Sagittarius energy or ninth house energy. And ninth house is ruled by the owl as well. It's about higher learning and wisdom. And but I definitely get the sense that this whole week, it's almost like you're not gonna go with more heart over head, and you're gonna enjoy the journey. You're gonna let the transition to something new kind of guide you. The other thing that I think you're doing is you're really trusting your instincts. I think there is going to be a moment of great joy at the beginning of the week that's going to make you feel like the Empress. And middle of the week is going to be just straight love. But by the end of the week and over Halloween, I think you're going to have some. The other thing I get is that you might have a few moments of really great recognition, and I think you're going to be recognized as being a comfort to your community, to your family. Like someone's going to praise you for the loving care that you give to others. And I feel like that's, and then by the end of the week, you're just going to kind of let it be on autopilot, right? You're still watching the situation, but you know that everything's going to be okay. Like the worst is over. There's nothing that you have to worry about. The other thing that I kind of get with this, especially with the dog and the lovers, and I think you might also have to tell yourself, if this is like a new love relationship, you might have to remind yourself that this is going to be different than any bad relationships that you've had in the past. You know, I feel like you are transitioning on to better things. You're moving away from challenging things, and it's okay for you to kind of not overthink it, right? It's okay for you to just be in that loving, receptive, nurturing place. And I think you're really gonna, your sense of ego is gonna shine bright with that. And I do think with the sun and Cancer being ruled by the moon and it being a full moon in Libra, I just feel like your relationships are really going to shine. And just, you know, just let the planets do their thing. Let the sun shine. Let the moon reflect its light. Let it be full, and just feel it without overthinking it. Just, you know, just sit in the boat and let those energies, you know, let those energies transport you. That's the vibe that I'm getting. But wow, guys. Oh, wow. That was intense. That was really strong. I mean, we have really strong weekly energies, but, and I'm glad we got to the charms. I've been promising you charms for a while, so that turned out really amazing. Well, it did turn out to be a little bit longer because we did have oracles and charms, but I hope that you enjoyed. You know, I hope that you have a great week and a very happy and safe Halloween. I am dressing up. It's going to be more kind of video Skype call kind of appropriate. So if anybody at work looks, you know, turns on the video camera, they're going to get a surprise on Friday. And then, but it should be a really exciting Halloween. And if you got a chance to catch the beginning part of the video, you can click on the timestamp if you want to check it out. If you are so inclined, you know, please feel free to tell me what your merit badge was. You know, if you want to create your own merit badge, or just, you know, tell me what the name of it would be. Because I think everyone needs a little bit of a pat on the back. You know, it's been a very trying year, and I think all of us need to give ourselves some props. But and I thank you for your patience with the tech issues from last week. I think moving forward we should not encounter that anymore. If you're so inclined, please join me for the next video. I will be back on Tuesday with the How to Tarot, and this week we're talking about an interesting one. We're talking about the Sneaky Pete card, the Seven of Swords. So I hope that I can catch you then, and I'll see you later. Bye.